Hey, what is up, everyone? It is Rich. All right, so this is the final spillover from Super Fun Sunday, and I'll have a link not only to Super Fun Sunday, but to my own crowd-funded book, Blaster Kid. If you like Star Wars, Escape from New York, Mad Max, Road Warrior, adventure, intrigue, you'll love Blaster Kid. Could be the best comic book ever. But today we're going to look at The Spectre by Tom Mandrake and also some original art. So the concept was I had people recommend artists that I was going to spotlight, and this spotlight is on Tom Mandrake. So I grabbed some Spectre and then some original art, and it should be good. And this selection was from Derek Harris. So Derek, this was your pick. I went random and just kind of rolled dice, and who got picked. And that's how I did it. And the video did real well, so we will do it again. Sorry, let's look at some Tom Mandrake. We'll go into full screen mode. I like Tom's stuff. I actually collected this Spectre, so I am familiar with his work, and I always thought it was cool. It's like a little bit more organic than a lot of the stuff that was coming out at this time. For me, starting to collect like around 92, maybe 93, I think was when I started buying comics. I was so used to seeing what Image Comics looked like. Some of the people that had been working in comics before them that didn't have the Image Comics style was a little bit weird for me because it didn't have that Scott Williams like super slick inking. And for whatever reason, like I liked Kelly Jones, I liked Mandrake. I thought this stuff was cool looking, and so I did follow it. So this is the Spectre original art page. I thought these would be fun to see. These are scans off of Heritage Auctions, so you can get a little vibe of what the art looks like without any color. It's really, really nicely done. The guy is like a great penciler and inker. I believe this is his inks. I could be wrong, but I think that it is. And Mandrake worked for DC for a long time. I mean, he may still write now. If I'm not sure. Like I kind of said going into these videos, I didn't have time to research each artist, so I don't know where they're at with their careers and what they're up to. So my apologies on that. But I remember when I was working at DC through Wildstorm, Mandrake was still doing books for them, as far as I remembered, but I haven't worked for them in a long time, so it's been a while. This is great. It's really cool. This is awesome too. I would have been tempted to curve the logo a bit, as this is a cylindrical object. The logo doesn't feel like it's completely twisting with the form. Me being super crazy. Probably not necessary. Alright. That is cool. Man, what a great... I guess this would be like a splash page. It is super neat. This is really cool. I guess, you know, the other guy that I was thinking of is Butch Geis. Jackson Geis. Geis. So good. They named him Geis. They don't draw, like, Mandrake and him don't draw, like, exactly the same, but for some reason I kind of think of them as similar styles. This is really cool. I love how you can see through this and see stars underneath it. It has a really great effect. Man, that is cool looking. Alright, this is an interior page. Just grabbed a couple of sequentials. Thought this guy, kind of, like in the thumbnail form, it looked a little Bernie Wrightson-ish. Got the crazy hatch background. Django, Steiner, and Snipe. This was the splash page. Oh, and yeah, at times there was like maybe a little bit of like Neil Adams with the rendering. Or, what does this remind me of? Yeah, I guess kind of like a little Neil Adams. The rendering is a little different. Like the actual shapes of the lines are a little different. Neil had real good inkers, so different people were inking him that got different quality of lines. I think Neil sometimes had thinner lines on his stuff. Like these are kind of more medium thickness to thick. Alright, now we've got a bunch of original art. This is gonna be fun. Fun, fun, fun. So see, Derek, I didn't let you down. I came through in the end. If you watched the live stream, you probably saw that he was the bottom folder, and you were like, "Oh God, to sit through this whole freaking show." And then he didn't even do the freaking my pick, even though it was in there. Well, I got you back. This is really cool. Can't go wrong doing a cool moon. This is an interesting piece. Try to guess who the penciler is on this. This is inked by Mandrake, if I'm not mistaken. That was how it was credited. But the pencils are by who? That's right. For the people that got it right. Michael Golden. This is Michael Golden Pencils with Tom Mandrake inks. Again, that's what it was credited as. So I can only go by what they said. But that's kind of groovy. So, yeah. I have this comic book. I like the story actually a lot. This is Mandrake. All right. This was really cool. It's an interesting piece. It's very vertical and horizontal, but I don't know. I like it. It seems to work for me. Captain America looks like he's ready to go kick some butt in the snow. What do we got? This is a bullet shell smoking here. Looks to be. Get him, Cap. Get him. Now I kind of want to know where that story goes. Oh, so did I grab this twice? I must have grabbed this page twice. That's okay. My computer was acting up when I was grabbing these files, and so Heritage didn't like that I was moving too. You know, when you navigate a site so fast, they think that you're like a bot. That's how quick I download images. Like, jeez, what is this thing? He's just saving all these images. It's got to be a robot. No, it's just Rich getting ready for YouTube. The YouTube. All manual. This is cool. I'm always so impressed by this stuff. Like when comic book pencilers, they have their language down of like how they define a face, like what lines they put down to show a nose, how the eyebrows are. It's kind of like I mentioned, not in the last day or two, but over the weekend I had looked at a lot of Jim Lee and spent kind of the afternoon after I don't know what it was, if I did a video on Saturday or Friday, but I ended up checking out Jim's work for a couple of hours, and it was really interesting to me to like see all the decisions that he makes on faces. But Tom does that too in his own way, which is really cool to see. Like, you know, like he doesn't draw the bridge of the nose coming down into the nose. The way that he furrows the brow, the amount of lines that he uses for the mouth, like how he indicates the lower part of the nose, the nostrils, the cheeks, all that stuff. So it's really interesting because it really, like, that stuff does start to make up your style because it defines what your face looks like and also what the colorist is going to respond to. So, you know, and it's so crazy too when you're working from a blank sheet of paper and you could take it 50 million different ways. It's like the decision making. It looks so obvious when they do it. You go, yeah, that looks right. Looks good. If you're sitting there by yourself with no reference out and you're drawing a face, all of a sudden every decision is yours. Do I double the line on the lip? Do I draw the bridge of the nose? God, where am I going to put the shadows? It's a lot of choices. Man, that stuff is cool. He's actually getting pretty down and dirty with the lines, to be honest. Like, that's some nice, not only nice inking, but nice looking rendering choices. Like where he's putting it, it looks really cool. This is all really neat too. This is an excellent title for his style too. Man, that stuff is creepy. Let me brighten this just a little bit for y'alls. Brighter. Lobo? It looks like Lobo. I don't know what this is from. Oh, it is Lobo. Yeah, that's cool. Yep, good stuff. Good stuff. Batman. I would hope that companies like DC and Marvel still hire artists like this. You know, as time rolls on and styles and popular styles of art come into fashion, sometimes styles don't transfer where the company will go, you know, kids aren't going to be into this. They're into like this thing and this thing and this thing. And, you know, obviously there's older fans that collect comic books still that have their own wheelhouse of styles that they like. But yeah, this guy's really, really good. I hope that he's still able to get work if he wants to. Sometimes it gets harder, you know. So this is not them. This says pencils Norm Brayfogle, inks Janky. I don't know why this was credited as him, but anyway, we'll move past the Norm Brayfogle. This is signed by Tom, so we know this is Tom. You could see like a little bit, like this has a little tiny bit of maybe like the Kelly Jones vibe, which probably comes from them having some similar influences, like the eerie, creepy, who knows, it could be Wrightson, it could be Jack Davis, whatever it is, but you know what I mean? There's a little bit of some parallels going on. It's really, really nice. This is great. That's really cool. She's ripping apart at the seams. Everybody's ripping apart the seams. This is cool. This looks nice. Oh, and that was it. Okay, so I, you know, went for the video was I was grabbing anywhere from 10 to 20 images for each person, and so Tom must have had like 10 or 12 or something like that. I had the double image. So anyway, that was Tom Mandrake, and that's I tried to grab mostly his Spectre art. I know there was some other stuff in there, but hopefully that was cool for you, Derek. And we completed it. We completed the project, which was I guesstimated that I would pick about 20 artists and about 10 pieces from each artist, which would in theory have been 200 pieces that should have made like a 2.5 hour live stream. Went a little over, so I wanted to complete the project. So anyway, this Friday, I have a new live show that I'm going to be doing with Jerk Comics. If you haven't followed his YouTube channel, definitely look him up on YouTube. He does really, really good, very informative videos on all kinds of different stuff, Image Comics, independent stuff. It's really good. Frazetta, he covers it all. And then James Windsor Smith, who's a friend of mine, not related to Barry Windsor Smith. But we're going to do a show that I've tentatively titled Three Jerks. I don't know if I'll keep that, though, because I think that might be confusing for people that just stumble on it. What it's going to be is it's going to be a look at independent publishing, not necessarily crowdfunding, but I mean, it obviously will get to that. But comic books and comic book artists that worked outside of mainstream publishing. So, you know, the underground comics of the 60s, the 70s, the stuff that was on the fringe, could be eerie and creepy and that kind of stuff, which was a little off the grid. Maybe even National Lampoon. You've got a lot of the stuff that pops up in the 80s that was all self-published and creator-owned. And it should be a really interesting show and quite informational. We're going to do a spotlight on an artist in each thing, and they're going to be an hour long. So it's Friday nights, 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 10 o'clock East Coast, and it's going to be on the 3rd of the month. It's just going to be one day a month. We're going to do it, and if it gets popular, we could maybe consider doing it twice a month. But I don't want to overdo it, and also, you know, it's we're all busy, and so we're gonna try it one day a month and see how it goes. And if it gets a good, you know, following and stuff like that, who knows? We'll see what we do with it. But it should be fun. It's something that I'm really interested in learning more about and exploring, and I want to know the history of independent comics, because there's a lot of really good stuff that you just would never get through a publisher, you know. And it's interesting. So, all right, talk to you later. Be sure to sign up for Blaster Kid if you haven't, please. You can check the link in my description. And if you haven't seen the art, take 2 seconds. If you like Tom Mandrake, you may like what I do. So check it out. It's some wild stuff. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.